In this video, I'm sharing what happened when I stopped marathon cleaning. I'll show you the exact faith-based systems that changed everything, like how I get my dirtiest windows sparkling, and the secret to cleaning your oven door with a dishwasher pod. You'll definitely want to stay to the end because I'm going to share the single biggest secret to keeping dirt and dust out of your home for good. You see, growing up, I'll always remember our spring cleaning. It was a chore that took up the entire week after Easter that we were out of school. A marathon of scrubbing and organizing. As a wife and mom, I was trapped in that same burnout cycle, convinced that a godly home had to be a spotless one. I believed the lie that my work as a keeper of the home was tied to the state of my baseboards. I remember being at a women's ministries meeting and hearing one of the older, most respected ladies in our church say, when company comes over, dust the first flat surface they'll see and cook real good for them. The idea that this pillar of a Christian homemaker could be so practical and efficient planted a seed in my mind. That seed grew as I realized I didn't want my kids to have the same stressful memories of cleaning. I wanted to steward my time and energy well. My journey wasn't about a dramatic explosion, but a gradual search for a better way, a more natural progression of cleaning that could happen all along without the stress. A question popped into my head. What if a peaceful home wasn't about having a perfect home? What if my frantic all or nothing approach was the actual source of the chaos? Cleaning is not about perfection. It's about stewardship and creating margin for relationships. The first big shift was moving from a marathon mindset to a rhythm mindset. Deep cleaning is something that I consider a must, but I no longer consider it an experience that wears me out. Instead, it refreshes me because it's done in short frames in confined spaces, and I make it fit my schedule. Instead of deep cleaning consuming my schedule, the first practical step was to block off cleaning time. I stopped scheduling spring cleaning break weeks. That's gone. Instead, I embrace short, focused sessions of 30 to 60 minutes of deep cleaning. Work expands to fill the time you give it. And when I gave cleaning a whole week, it was a monster. But it's amazing what can be accomplished in one focused hour. The second step was zone cleaning, a concept I learned from Chelsea Joe in her Systemize Your Life program. Instead of trying to clean the whole house at once, I broke it into zones. I would tackle one zone each week. This way, spring cleaning is gradual all year long, and my house is continually spring cleaned. And stick with me because we're about to tackle that baked on grease on the oven door I told you about. Let's get practical. This is about simplifying, not buying a bunch of fancy products. And today we're tackling these blinds and windows. First, I get my bucket of water with a bit of dish detergent. My simple, sturdy two-step ladder is a must for this. I'll wipe off each individual blind piece, then turn the blind up to keep my space as I rinse out my microfiber cloth. Everything gets wiped off using the microfiber cloth. If you're not using microfiber water, you're working too hard. Once the blinds are done, I wipe out the bottom of the window and then clean the screen and the windows itself with the microfiber cloth and polishing cloth. It's so easy, and doing this on a regular basis keeps the house less dirty because the dirt doesn't drift in from the window. Now you can see I have 3 windows here in a row. A great way to be more efficient is to batch your cleaning. I learned this from Chelsea Joe's Systemize Your Life. You can find more information about her program in the description. So instead of cleaning one window area completely, I cleaned the blinds of all 3 windows first, and now I'll go back and clean the glass on each one. My brain stays focused on one activity, which is far more efficient. Now for the shortcut you've been waiting for. Look at how dirty this oven door glass is. I've tried multiple things to get it clean and nothing worked until I tried this. It was so super easy. First, I boiled some water and carefully poured it onto the door. Then I cut open that powder-filled dishwasher pod and used a scrubber. The grime scrubbed off in no time. I removed the dirt and polished it with my microfiber cloth, and the door is dramatically cleaner. Of course, always test this carefully on a small spot of your appliance and follow the manufacturer's recommendations. But while I was cleaning the door, I also changed the aluminum foil liner in the bottom. I've heard there is a washable oven liner, and I've linked one in the description. Drop a comment if you've ever used one of the washable oven protectors and what you thought about it. Next, let's look at these burners. The drip pans get so dirty, and I replace them periodically. It's about time to replace these now. I've linked the ones that I like to use in the description. I see a large dirty spot here. Because the dishwasher tablet worked so well on the door, I'll try it on this stain, but not today. I separate my cleaning into zones, and I have a set time frame. It's a great example of the zone cleaning technique I learned from Chelsea Joe. This is where my Christian motherhood journey truly deepened. I stopped seeing myself as a sole keeper of the house and started seeing myself as a disciple maker, training my children in stewardship. It's tempting to think it's just faster if I do it myself, and sometimes I do it myself. But I remember those long cleaning marathons from my childhood, and I want to teach my kids by training, not just by example. Deuteronomy 6 tells us to teach God's commandment diligently to our children in the everyday moments of life. When we teach our children to care for the blessings God has given them, we are training them. I have one last system to share, the secret of keeping dirt out of your home. A few years ago, we invested in a water-based vacuum, a rainbow vacuum. It uses water to trap dirt and odors, returning clean, water-washed air to your home. I love using the upholstery bag to get dirt and dust out of the furniture. Then the water filter system makes sure the dust is truly discarded out of the home instead of sitting in a bag in a closet. Unlike traditional vacuums that can recirculate fine particles, the rainbow traps all the dirt and dust in the basin of water. When you're done, you just pour the dirty water out. It is super simple, and you can find the link for the rainbow vacuum in the description. The first time I used it, the water was black. I was shocked. I realized this was the biggest mistake I had been making for years. My old vacuum used to just be moving that dust around. I was working hard, making noise, and giving the appearance of being clean, but I was just circulating the problem. This became such a powerful picture of the gospel. For so long, my cleaning was like that old vacuum. I was working so hard managing my perfectionism and fear, just stirring up dust and creating a stressful atmosphere. I was trying to achieve righteousness on my own. But true peace doesn't come from managing the dirt. It comes from being washed clean by Christ. In John 14, verse 27, Jesus says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." The world's peace is conditional on a perfect home. The peace of Christ is a gift. Christian moms, our homes don't have to be perfect to be peaceful. Small, faithful rhythms and consistent stewardship matter more. Stopping the marathon cleaning didn't bring chaos. It actually brought a deeper, more authentic, peaceful home. My identity is no longer wrapped in being a perfect homemaker, but is rooted in being a beloved child of God, stewarding His gifts with a faithful heart. I hope these practical systems give you the homemaking motivation to create more margin, less overwhelm, and more peace for your family this week. What is one homemaking system that helps bring more peace to your home? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're a Christian mom who wants practical systems and biblical encouragement, I would be so honored if you subscribe. Thank you for being here. Go in peace.